I'm really pushing it with these one-shot archetypes, aren't I? Well, today we're looking at another pack filler garbage archetype, pun absolutely intended, from the Zexal era used by Dr. Faker, and yeah, the archetype is literally called garbage. So yeah, without further ado, let's start with the first monster, Garbage Ogre. This is a level 3, which has the effect that you can discard it to the graveyard to add one Garbage Lord from your deck to your hand, and you can only use this effect once per turn. Yeah, monsters that discard themselves to search other monsters out are not that common, honestly. Monsters that discard themselves are usually field searchers, so yeah, not a very common way to start the archetype, isn't it? Well, next up we have the aforementioned Garbage Lord, which is a level 5 with 0 attack and 2400 defense, and you can special summon this card from your hand by paying 2000 life points. This card cannot be used as an Xyz material from Xyz summon except for the Xyz summon of a dark monster. Now, if it wasn't for that last effect, this would be the last card of the archetype, but it exists and it ties 3 more monsters into the archetype, 3 extra deck monsters to be more precise. But Jesus, 2000 life points, that's way too much for a single monster which doesn't even have attack points. For that cost, I would expect you to summon 3 of them from hand, deck, and or graveyard, so yeah. Not very convincing and powerful enough cost in order to in order to convince me that this monster is worth it. So yeah. Next up we have the first extra deck monster, that being number 53, Heart Earth. This one's a rank 5 fiend with requires 3 level 5 monsters, 100 attack and defense, and once per turn when this card is targeted for an attack, it gains attack equal to that the attacking monster's original attack, of course, until the end phase. If this face-up card on the field would be destroyed, you can detach one Xyz material from this card instead. When this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect or it has no Xyz materials, you can special summon one number 92 Heart Earth Dragon from your extra deck and attach this card to it as Xyz material. Special summon is treated as an Xyz summon. So yeah, it's basically an anime boss monster, but what did you expect? This is basically a much worse version of number 96, and it really shows. It only gains attack equal to the original attack of the monster, which can screw you over in some situations, since the monster you're facing off can still have more attack points than this thing even after the attack point gain. Protection is alright. I honestly would have loved if this was an improved version of number 96, but still, hey ho. And as for the floating effect, yeah, let's take a look at it, shall we? This is number 92, Heart Earth Dragon, which is a thing that Heart Earth floats into. So yeah, this one requires 3 level 9 monsters, the rank 9 as you can see. And this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, your opponent takes any of that battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card. During your opponent's end phase, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, banish all cards your opponent controls that were normal or special summoned or were set this turn. If this card is destroyed while it has Xyz material, you can special summon this card from the graveyard. When you do, it gains 1000 attack for every card currently banished. So again, the Heart Earth Dragons, both of them, we'll get to the other one, are actually very nice. It's a shame that the most consistent way of bringing them out is via Heart Earth's floating effect, not to mention that, yeah, you can build a rank 9 spam-ish deck, maybe, but it's a bit too inconsistent for me to basically consider it as a viable option in this day and age. So yeah, the effect here is actually very sweet. You banish the cards that were normal or special summoned or set, meaning any form of monsters are banished, and not to mention you can also banish set spells or traps. So yeah, it's a very versatile removal effect. And its Chaos version is even better. This is Chaos number 92, Heart Earth Chaos Dragon. Requires 4 level 10 monsters, or you know, a rank up magic. Has 1000 attack and 0 defense and cannot be destroyed by battle. When a monster your opponent control inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you gain life points equal to the damage they took. If this card has number 92, Heart Earth Dragon, as an Xyz material, it gains this effect. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. This activation cannot be negated. And not to mention, if you actually summon this using Numeron Force, you don't even have to bother with the second effect, because Numeron Force absolutely negates everything permanently. What a monster! What a lovely boss monster! Not to mention, if your opponent plays a bunch of new cards, you can just detach the Xyz material and then negate those as well. It's a lovely boss monster. However, I wish that the archetype it originates from is miles better, which in practically is not. Yeah, it's garbage, pun intended. Grades, yes, everything gets a 1 out of 3, even if the Heart Earth Dragons are actually very nice, the rest of the garbage archetype is garbage, pun intended. Yeah, these are definitely not going to get new support, because it's a packfiller garbage archetype, pun again intended. I'm forcing it now, am I? And yeah, it's basically and the Heart Earth Dragons are basically monsters you can experiment with in your free time, and maybe build some gimmick decks with them in the spotlight. So yeah, it's okay. It's a free world out there, and you should experiment as much as you want. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, bookings and updates. Comment, like, and subscribe. We'll be continuing our trip through the Zexal era shortly in the next episode. See you all. Have a good day, and peace.